Hi guys, it's Miranda from My Sister's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to tell you about my September wrap-up. So I'm really excited. I read, let's see, 6 books, including 2 audiobooks and a graphic novel. But I'm really proud of myself. It's the most I've read in a month, so which is pretty sad. The first thing I read, I actually started in August, and so, but I finished it like September 5th. I was kind of slow in August. But the first one is Delirium, and this is by Lauren Oliver. I really enjoyed it. Truthfully, I had heard mixed things about it. Some people gave it kind of low review, but I really enjoyed it. This is my first Lauren Oliver book, and this is about a girl who lives in a dystopian society where love is a disease. And so they try to eradicate it and cure their world of love. And I thought the concept was really interesting. I really enjoyed the book. There was a couple of slow points. I mean, because this is really character building, and her finding herself. She's only, I think she's 16, or maybe she's older. Ooh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I think she might be closer to 18. But she's very naive with human relationships and things like that because there's no love in that world. So it was kind of, I don't know, there were parts where it was kind of slow because it was all about her kind of finding herself. But for the most part, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I read is It's Not You, It's Me. This is by Carrie Cohen Hoffman. It's a very short, little book. I read it in a day. What it was good for was my break book, because I had just read Delirium and it kind of took me back. So because of the ending is intense. So I needed a quick light read, and that's exactly what this did. It's a contemporary, it's a young contemporary. Like the main characters are in high school. And so to me it wasn't like great. It's all about this girl who, her boyfriend, she's like in love with him, and her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she's devastated, and she doesn't know why, and she just wants to win him back. And so the whole book, it goes through, it's like, the cool thing about it is the dates, the chapters are days. So it says like day 1, and that's when they break up, and then it goes all the way to day 31. So it goes through like her stages of like grief or whatever. And some of it was fun. I mean, it was funny. I laughed a couple times out loud. But I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. It wasn't my favorite, but it was fun. The next is Shatter Me by Tara Maffei. And this was my favorite book of the month, for sure. It was so good. It's about a girl who, if you've seen X-Men, she's kind of like Rogue. She can, when she touches people, she takes their energy, and she actually, can harm them. So she grew up like not touching anyone, and it was such a unique read. At first I was kind of like, I don't know, the writing style is very different. It has, I don't know if you can see on the back how they have these cross outs. That's throughout the book. So like there are some things that are like, those are her, I guess, thoughts, but she like crosses them out. She's like, okay, I'm not going to think that way. It was very interesting. I really did love it. And it surprised me. The end, and even probably about halfway through the book, I'm like, this is different than I expected it was going to be. It was very, very good. I can't wait to read the next one. The next book is in my October TBR. Oh, and by the way, I am reading the second to Delirium. I am reading the second one. It's called Pandemonium right now. That's my current read right now. And it is really good. I really like the second one a little bit better than the first. So if you're interested in getting into a series, I would get into it because it is good. But yeah, I am very interested in seeing where this goes. I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I'm very excited to see the next one. The next book I read was actually an audiobook. It was The Giver by Lois Lowry. And I know everybody's read this when they were in school. I never read it. I was supposed to, I think, but I didn't. And I liked it, but I think that I would have liked it more if I would have read it when I was supposed to, when I was 12. And the main character's 12. And so because of that, I think he was whiny, and I didn't like that. Like, he kind of got on my nerves a couple of times, and otherwise though, I really liked the book. I really did. It was interesting. The whole plot line was very good. I hate how how they leave it out in the end. Like, there's so many possibilities of where this could go. Nobody knows. No answers. I'm sure everyone's read it already. But it was, I mean, I did enjoy it. I think on Goodreads I did give it 4 out of 5. But if I would have, I would have given it, or if I could have, I would have given it 3.5 out of 5, just because, I don't know, it didn't go all the way for me. And if you've seen the movie adaptation, I really do enjoy the fact that in the movie they make him older. I think in the movie he's more between like 16 and 18, or even 18. And I think that was more logical and more reasonable. I like that better. But I don't know. I probably would have liked it if I read it when I was 12. The next thing I read was a graphic novel, and this was actually my first graphic novel I've ever read, and so I didn't know what to expect. Everybody talks good about them, but that was Romeo and Juliet, The War. And this is the reason why I picked it up was because it's by Stanley, Terry Douglas, Max Work, and Scan Struziwan. I'm sorry, I'm butchering these names really bad. But I did enjoy this. It was, the pictures are very nice. Let me see if I can find one that I like. The pictures are nice. But you know what? It was the basic Romeo and Juliet story. It wasn't, I don't know, Romeo is a, cyclops, or cyborg. Romeo is a cyborg, and Juliet is like a superhuman. Here we can see. You see, it's pretty pictures. But yeah, so that part was really cool. I liked that part. I was like, this is cool. Let's take this aspect of the story and run with it. But instead, it was the exact same Romeo and Juliet story, but he was a cyborg and she was a superhuman. There wasn't anything else to it. And there was a lot of different weird action parts, which I wasn't really that big of a fan of. On Goodreads, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think I was disappointed, because I think that they could have took this story and made it better and made it bigger and made it more relatable. It was still that insta love that Romeo and Juliet have, and it was still the same story. But I mean, it was still, I mean, I was really interested because Stanley, but I mean, it was good. Just, not great. The next thing I actually listened to was the selection stories, The Prince and the Guard. And this was just a play away. I don't know, you can probably get these from your library. But it comes like it's like a little MP3 player. And it's kind of cool. So my library has these, and I was like, this is cool, because I could put it in my back pocket and listen to it while the rest of my family doesn't want to listen to it. And fold laundry or whatever. And that's exactly what I did. I listened to it while I folded laundry. And it's only like 4 hours long. And it was very interesting. It was much more, it was a little kind of, it was a quick read. If you've read I would suggest reading the other selection, at least 1 and 2 of the selection series before you read it, because it does have those parts in it. The first part is The Prince, where it talks about Maxon's side of view when the selected first come to the palace. And so, that's kind of cool to hear his side of the story. The second part is is the Guard, which talks about Aspen's point of view during the second half of the Elite book. Which I really liked that part better. I liked the Guard better than the Prince. Just in these stories. I think the Guard had more action. Whereas the Prince was mostly just about Maxon's feelings towards his father and towards his family, and where the Guard was more about Aspen and his need to protect the royal family, but also protect his family and his in America. And Then also you got to, in the guard too, you got to see the help's point of view, like the rest of the help in the mansion. So I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting to see. I really did like it. I gave it on Goodreads, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So I mean, I would pick it up again, and I would pick these little Playway things up again. I picked up some for my trip. I'm going to New York this month, and so I picked some up to listen to on the car. And all you have to do is put your headphones in, and so that makes it really cool. Like you can see, there's just a little headphone spot. So it's kind of cool, and you can speed it up. So I was able to speed it up a couple, up like 2 speeds faster, and so I got it done a lot quicker. But I really did enjoy it. So anyway, that's it for my September wrap-up. So that was a total of 6 books. And I'm very excited for October. I'm hoping I can get at least 6 again for October, but we'll see. But we'll see you, you guys next time on my sister's bookshelf. Bye.